We're officially live. Welcome, everybody. So happy to see you here with us in the now moment, and so happy to see those of you who are joining us in the eternal now moment via recording. It's such a blessing to get to be together in this way.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. We're going to start. I'm going to change my background real quick because something that I believe is so important is as we are joining together in this space is that we allow ourselves to release everything that we've been carrying before we enter here. Sort of make a conscious intention to surrender all of the issues, problems, things that are unfinished, anything, and put it in the temple of divine perfection. You can just leave it there to be transformed, to be held, to whatever, get rid of it, just put it there. And so as we are tuning in and you're releasing everything there, let's light our candles together to start and open up the portal so we can all join in the soul field together. And allow yourselves to surrender into this space, the soul field. The soul field is a space where your soul communes with other souls. It's not where your mind is trying to figure out things. It's your soul is guiding. Your soul is relaxed. And so let's all join together and open it now. Welcome.
We come with grateful, reverent, and open hearts to drink from the deep well of our eternal nature. As we dive into the soul field together, we are held within a sacred and holy embrace by the source of all love, light, and grace. In this eternal now, we actively invoke our unique pathways to source and to the beings of love light that support our divine evolving. As we allow our mind, body, spirit to expand into the holy realms where magic and miracles are commonplace. Together, we minister to ourselves. We understand as we do that, we minister to one another and our family humanity. We recognize that we are one in the holy wholeness. We allow all we do here today to ripple out through our lives as a living witness of divine grace for the benefit of all our relations.
Venimos con corazones agradecidos, reverentes y abiertos a beber del profundo pozo de nuestra naturaleza eterna. A medida que nos sumergimos juntos aquí en el campo del alma, somos sagradamente acogidos por la fuente de todo amor, luz y gracia divina. En este ahora eterno pedimos que se abran nuestros caminos hacia el Creador, junto con los seres de amor y luz que apoyan nuestra evolución divina. Permitimos que nuestra mente, cuerpo y espíritu se expandan hacia los reinos sagrados, donde la magia y los milagros ocurren constantemente. A medida que nos atendemos a nosotros mismos, así atendemos el uno al otro y a toda nuestra familia humana, reconociendo que somos uno en la totalidad sagrada. Permitamos que todo lo que se haga aquí hoy continúe fluyendo en nuestras vidas como un testimonio vivo de la gracia divina para el beneficio de todos. So beautiful. I was thinking about the equinox, the fall equinox that we were engaged in. If you guys haven't watched it yet, I would totally recommend go to our YouTube video and search for the fall equinox. Really, really powerful. We talked a little bit about the thoughts and how we can tap into the thoughts, into the field, and forget to tap into our soul field. And so part of connecting to our soul and the field of our being is understanding how to do it and having this, of course, this support. So we're going to do an affirmation. And this affirmation, we've been doing it for this series. And in the affirmation, we either tap the thymus thump, we do the thymus thump, or we rub our ears to activate all the acupuncture, acupressure points. And so I am going to.
Before we do real quick, Nancy, I'm seeing some people here that haven't been with us for this whole series. So some new faces, which are lovely to see. And maybe we'll just lay just a very brief foundation. So we've been working for many of the last soul field gatherings on really discovering how to be in the space of choicefulness in the context of this world that we live in that is vying for attention in all different kinds of ways. And so the affirmations that we are starting with today have been part of our series all along. And these affirmations are about really helping us to engage in that space where we recognize that we have power, that we have power to choose, as Nancy was describing, to choose to align and attune to the divine mind and the wisdom of our soul, or to get lost in the thought field and get lost in the world of media and things engineered to pull our attention away from our sacred center. And so this affirmation is really about like bringing us into sacred center, bringing us in to the holy now, where we actually do get to choose our life and co-create our world.
Yeah. So this is an invitation to submerge yourself, to for just a moment remember that you are this spirit, this being, not just the humanness in you, your thoughts, your problems, whatever's happening. You're also this soul, and we're going to really try to reconnect with that and remember and not get distracted by our humanness, if we could call it that. So we're going to start with the affirmation. Can you see it on the screen? Yes. Okay. I am grounded in my soul values, and you repeat after me out loud.
I am grounded in my soul values. And we're either tapping on the thymus, which is right on the sternum in the center, or we're rubbing around the earlobes to activate. When we rub the earlobes, we're activating the acupuncture flows because there are meridian points corresponding to all the flows of energy on our ears. When we're tapping on the thymus, on the sternum, the master gland lives there. This is like waking up the body. So when we engage in either the tapping or the rubbing, when we say the affirmation, it gets it in our body.
Yes.
So for those who are new.
I am grounded in my soul values.
I am grounded in my soul values.
I see clearly what is for me and easily choose that which uplifts and glorifies my life.
I see clearly what is for me and easily choose that which uplifts and glorifies my life.
I am living my soul sovereignty, choice by choice.
I am living my soul sovereignty, choice by choice.
I'm grounded in my soul values.
I am grounded in my soul values.
I see clearly what is for me and easily choose that which uplifts and glorifies my life.
I see clearly what is for me and easily choose that which uplifts and glorifies my life.
I am living my soul sovereignty, choice by choice.
I am living my soul sovereignty, choice by choice.
I am grounded in my soul values.
I am grounded in my soul values.
I see clearly what is for me and easily choose that which uplifts and glorifies my life.
I see clearly what is for me and easily choose that which uplifts and glorifies my life.
I'm living my soul sovereignty, choice by choice.
I am living my soul sovereignty, choice by choice.
Mm. And if you could see for just a moment, as we are sort of closing um, this series, we are grounded in soul values. It's just not the earthly values, it's the soul values. It's so important.
Mhm.
And choosing what uplifts you. You know, it's so easy for us to not see what is for us, or it's so easy to get distracted and choose something that is detrimental. But we're choosing right now something that uplifts and glorifies our lives. And we are living our soul sovereignty. Like we are grounded, we are in this space sovereign. And it's every time we make a choice, every tiny choice, which is to think about something, to move this thing, every choice by choice, we are living our soul sovereignty.
Mhm.
And it's so incredible that this affirmation came up, because as we are progressing through the series, it's like now it's making more and more and more sense. You know, at the beginning, it's like, okay, cool words. Now it's like, oh, yes, it
Yeah.
makes so much sense.
Yeah. And for those of you who have been with us in this series, I'm assuming you're feeling and sensing and noticing that you are becoming more choiceful, that you are attuning to the soul more fully. And what we really have been moving through in this series is a deep understanding that true choicefulness really comes when we are actively engaged with and also resting in our divinity, resting in the holy wholeness, purposefully connecting into the source of grace, into the divine mind. And so there's a requirement in that that we actually have to allow ourselves to be held.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The it's difficult when we are caught up with life, when we have to work and when we have to do things, when we have to deal with people, you know, problems, the news. Is so hard to really relax into this being, into grace. And for me specifically, I benefit so much from every time I meet with Luminaria, every time we meet together here. Like I benefit so much because it's a respite from the daily life. And it's also a remembrance. And it's a place where that's right. These problems are really not like that significant when I can count on divine guidance to really show me the way. And when I'm able to relax into that, things actually magically change and happen and transform. I've been seeing a shift in a lot of people in this transformation where they're finally saying, okay, it is safe to release and to surrender
Mhm.
and to receive. It's okay. But we need these reminders, you know, that's why we're here together with these reminders.
We've been taught and, subconsciously operate often from the limiting beliefs of the cultural mind that says, like, you have to earn support. It's shameful if you're not doing it all on your own. Or, maybe if I surrender into the divine, I'm going to not get what I want. I'm going to have to do hard things. I'm going to be asked to live in a way that I don't want to. So we have this energetic in the collective that causes us to fear really dropping into the unknown, really dropping into sacred surrender, and really understanding that that divine embrace is our place of refuge. It is our place where the greatest wisdom lies. It is the place where whatever revelation we're needing just exists, waiting for us to slow down enough, to settle enough, to say yes enough, to allow enough that wave of consciousness can come through. We we can forget, especially in certain areas of life where we have more challenge, right? So some people have, ease across a lot of areas. And then there's that one place or those two places where it's like, oh, I just struggle there. I like really have a hard time in relationships with intimate partners, or I have a really hard time in my family stuff, or a really hard time with something at work, right? There can be these certain areas where we're really struggling. And it's often in those areas, you see my hands, where we're really struggling, that we get in the grip and we actually forget to let go. And we forget to say, oh, in this area, like I actually surrender. I surrender my big idea. I surrender all the struggle and effort and the story that I have to figure it all out on my own. And I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to be guided. I'm willing to open to whatever grace can support me here. And
Yes.
yeah.
And there are beliefs that we have that block us from being in that space of receiving. And if you can go back to our previous videos, we have been tapping a lot of those beliefs. So if you haven't gotten a chance to be here with us live or watch the videos, go back, because there's a lot of beliefs that we have that can be dismantled. Like, oh, it's impossible for me to relax, or it's impossible for me to do this. And so we work through some of those beliefs, and the only thing really that gets in the way, it's our thoughts, it's our mind. And when we forget that we are soul and we engage with the thought field instead of the soul field, we get caught up here and we don't feel supported. We feel like we have to be in control.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying don't think, and I'm not saying don't deal with your problems. That's not what I'm intending here. What I'm saying is we need to connect and stay connected as often as we can. I know it's not possible to live in bliss 24/7.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe, yes. You're right, you're right. But like what I'm saying is that um when people think I'm going to live in bliss every day, what they think is I'm going to be happy and zen and never get upset and be always like that. And the truth is that we're humans with thoughts, with a mind, and things are going to affect us and we are going to feel irritated at times. But this connection is about, how do we see the divine mind in this? How do we see our soul sovereignty in this? How do we see that we have choices? How do we see that we don't have to be influenced, that we can actually tap into something larger than us and make a choice that can make us see this from the divine eyes, from that bliss space?
When we really take some part of our challenge of being here, being human, being in these bodies, and we really lay it down into the divine embrace, something very magical happens. And it feels like today, Nancy and I wanted to bring in the quality of Divine Mother. So a lot of our sort of cultural schemata about the divine in this country has to do with divine as father. And there's something exquisitely beautiful about that. And I'm not demeaning that in any way by what I'm saying here. But there is also the energy of divine as mother. And when we can open into divine as mother, sometimes there's that quality, we can open into that quality of like this soft, sacred kind of mothering energy that wants to nourish, that wants to hold, that wants to like put us in her embrace as a place where we can rest. We're coming off of, in the Hindu tradition, celebration of something called Navaratri, which is a celebration of the Divine Mother in many different forms, and an honoring of that as the place where creation arises, and of that as the place where liberation comes from. And so when we're talking about tapping into the divine embrace here today and taking refuge in the divine, we're just going to invite, as we move into meditation, for you to let yourself play with, and we may even in our language play with, this energy of Divine Mother and the space of divine womb where we are held and we are being reworked and recalibrated. There's truly the experience, and many of you, I think, here with us live and with us on the recording in the Eternal Now, have done this, where you take some part of your life and you actually, like, for me, I truly sometimes like get down on my knees, put my head on the ground, and I literally vision myself laying it at the feet of the Divine Mother, at the feet of Mother Mary, at the feet of Christ, at the feet of Durga Ma, and just like, and the tears flow, and I'm just like, okay, this, I can't, I don't know. Right? When we are willing to say that, I don't know, I need you, I need your help, I need the help of this grace that is available to me. Sometimes I do it in nature. I walk amongst the trees and I'm just talking to them, right? When we do this, we engage the mechanism inside us that calibrates into the divine mind, that lets go of ego, that lets go of personality, that lets go of culture, that says we have to know, we have to figure, it's up to us. We let go of that. And in that letting go, revelation arises, clarity arises, comfort can get in, and we can actually settle our nervous system in such a way that we become receptive to a pathway of ease that otherwise, when we're in the struggle, we actually don't have receptivity to.
Yeah. Yeah. If you think of ideal mother as a mother that nourishes you, that supports you, can that you can cry on her shoulder and feel safe, and that has you, that holds you completely and divinely. And because we're humans, not all mothers are going to be that. Not all mothers are going to be able to provide that for us. And so we can actually look up to nature, for example, as a mother. We can look up to Mother Mary. We can look up to our ideals of a perfect mother, not as a comparison, but as a place where we can find that refuge, a
Yeah.
place where we can lean in and be able to like trust Divine Mother and have that embrace. So like I have, like you, Luminaria, I remember sitting in the middle of this round circle of really tall trees in Oregon and just feeling Mother holding me in that womb space, and really experiencing that in a way that sometimes I don't feel with my own, mother. So sorry, Mom. But like I think that in some ways we want that experience of divine, something bigger that goes beyond human, experience.
We all are, regardless of our age, still children, right? We still need that holding and that comfort. And so I want you to take a minute. We're going to play a song for contemplation, but this song in particular is a song that is an encouragement to surrender into that embrace. And so I want you to just take a minute, and I want you to feel into something in your life right now that has a challenge or a struggle or a pain attached to it. And as you're bringing that in and you're receiving the song, receive it as an opportunity to create the kind of surrender that Nancy and I are speaking of.
song by Larissa Stowe, Bloom, is every time I hear it, is brings tears to my eyes. It's just
Yeah. And so we're going to continue as we allow ourselves to be held, as we surrender the places of challenge. We're going to continue to create a space of holding and a space of ease, ease of receiving the divine and understanding that grace is just there for you. There's nothing you need to do to receive it except allow yourself to receive it. Yeah.
There's nothing you need to do.
Yeah. Some of you are familiar with the sacred geometric light emanation technology, which is a sacred technology of working with light frequency and particular geometric structures in and around the body to intercommunicate with the biospiritual system to facilitate radical reorganization. And we're going to invoke a geometry today that's about really bringing us into sacred center and about creating almost like a force field in our energy body that becomes a filter that filters out anything that would in any way deter us from that total choicefulness, that total resting in the essence and truth of who we are, and would also would invoke even more receptivity to grace for us. And so you can think of these flames as mentors of light. Sometimes I describe them as sort of like angel type beings, except it's not with the kind of personality that we might attach. And the geometry and the light, this is literally the language that our biospiritual system understands, that this is the language of all form in this dimension, which is light, vibration, and form, geometry. And so we're speaking literally to this biospiritual system beyond the mind. But Nancy and I are going to share a little bit about what this geometry looks like and the flames that we're going to invoke so that your mind can allow for an even deeper receiving at that level of the biospiritual system. And so, Nancy, do you have that image that you can put up? Okay, great. So this is an artist's rendition of the geometry that we're going to use that is called the Infinity of Light. And you can see that figure would be sort of a representation of us. And these two streams of light in this picture, there's red and gold. That's not the colors that we're going to invoke today, but these streams of light that spiral around one another and then form this infinity that sort of flows, if you go to the top of the head, down, crosses underneath the belly button, and then down the soles of the feet and comes back up to the top of the head. So this looks a little bit like in a figure eight. And every time these flames trace that infinity pathway, they flip a little bit like, those sprinkler systems that go like, and they kind of move. Each time the flame comes back up to the top, it just like flips a little bit and it traces that infinity on a new plane. So that ultimately, even way more complex than this, and you can move the image down anytime, we become sort of like enclosed in this light, this almost like an hourglass created of these flows of infinity that are moving into our body and around our field. And we're going to invoke two flames. One is the flame of divine creative womb. This is both an invocation of the Divine Mother, but it's also an invocation of the like sacred container that allows for our transformation, that allows for our reworking, that also protects, that keeps out things that would interfere and brings in essential nutrients, right? So this flame is this beautiful iridescent metallic salmon pink light. And then we're going to invoke the flame of celestial invocation. And the flame of celestial invocation is this beautiful crystalline sort of ice blue light. And if you know the gemstone celestite, when this flame was given to me, I kept seeing that gemstone sparkling in the light. And the energy of celestial invocation is about calling in, like the way I was shown is like a band of angels to stand around and with us to facilitate whatever we're working with. It also, this flame really opens us to the subtle receptivity to those realms, to the celestial realms, the realms of the angels and the star beings on high, etc., opening us to receiving and literally working in our DNA to promote the awakening of the strands of DNA that have been sort of sleeping. Some people call this the 12-strand DNA, where we really move into the crystalline light body that we are, that we begin to live from that space. So we're going to invoke these flames to support. And once we invoke them, we're going to go right into meditation. And so those of you who are live will get that meditation on the recording, because we're going to play some music. You won't have the meditation on the recording, so you can just float with the geometry for a while if you're joining us via recording. So we're going to play some background music that is a seed syllable. In Sanskrit language, there are these syllables that are the seeds of creation, and some of those seed syllables correspond with the energy centers, or what we call the platforms of creation. And specifically, we're going to activate the seed syllable for the sacral center, which is beneath the belly button, low back, sort of in the pelvic bowl. And Nancy and I were shown, and many of you were here for that meditation quite a while ago, that we can really intend and tune into the back aspect of the sacral center and receive just this influx of grace there, that this is a place of deep receptivity, of divine support. And so we're using this seed syllable, and we'll work in the meditation to really bring in that just like influx, right?
And this syllable, or the seed syllable, is vam. You'll hear in the meditation the word vam. It's sort of similar to om, but it's vam, V-A-M. And I put the link on the chat if you're interested in tuning into that song later on.
Yeah, the seed syllable music they have for all of the chakras, and it's a deep meditation. And so we'll be working with that sound after we invoke the flames. So I'm just going to invite you, some of you are taking notes, which is beautiful, but I'm just going to invite you to set everything down and allow yourself to stop any other outer attention and come inward. And that internal gaze becomes the invitation to come even more fully into this present moment, to come even more fully into the body temple. Taking a few cleansing breaths. And feeling yourself desiring to feel and experience the divine embrace more fully. We all have that desire. Feel yourself connecting with the intentionality to surrender the struggles and instead to receive grace that will support more ease and clarity, transformation and beautification. Feel these desires and intentions softening and opening your body and your energy field to receive the beneficial frequencies of the flames and geometry we're about to invoke. And so we call forth the flame of divine creative womb, the flame that's iridescent, metallic salmon pink light, this glorious, shimmering salmon pink light. And we call forth the flame of celestial invocation, the crystalline ice blue light, to come to each of us first at the top of the head and begin spiraling with one another, creating the shape of infinity that will move to one side, come down and cross beneath our belly button, wrap around our energy body where the soles of our feet would be if we were standing, back up to the top of the head, this beautiful infinity or figure eight of light. And as it moves to the top of the head, it shifts the plane that it's tracing that pathway on just a little bit. And each time it comes back to the crown, it shifts just a little bit, until we become enclosed in this glowing three-dimensional infinity of light, like an hourglass of light. And this kinetic spinning light may feel tangible. You may sense it, but it's intelligent. You don't have to direct it. This is not a visualization. This is a receiving of the wisdom of these light frequencies. And you simply allow. As you continue to receive, you can also gently, very gently, bring yourself back. When it feels easy to do so, you can open your eyes. We have a song that has been part of our series. And what Nancy and I would love is for you to, it's just like receive this song. And as you are, just type a little bit in the chat, like, what are you experiencing? What are the sensations in the body? What are you noticing about how you feel? So you just kind of receive the ministration of this short song and just kind of let's connect with one another. What's here now?
You'll find in the chat that song that we just played, the chant. I actually have put it and I sent it to Luminara instead of all of you, but now you have it. And this one that Luminara is going to play now is Sanctuary by Mira.
Oh. Deep, soft, comforting quietude. Yeah. What else is here with us in this experience?
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy,
Is that
tried and true. With thanksgiving, I will be a living sanctuary.
Choice-fullness. Yeah.
Lord, prepare to be a sanctuary, pure and
Tingling, light body,
tried and
beings of light, ministering. Yes.
I will be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving.
Vibrating, but in this beautiful, calm way. Connected in the field. Yes. So true. So we chose this sanctuary song for this series because it's a real understanding that when we are operating from the place of choicefulness in this world, we actually become that, right? And so this is the prayer and also the byproduct of the prayer. The prayer is that we enter into that space of sacred center where we are moving from our soul guidance. And that also when we're in that space of receiving, that we actually become that which ministers, not because we're trying to do so, but our very beingness is a sanctuary. Right? And you know this at times when you're in your center, how that just emanates and people feel it and they respond. Right?
Yes. And something that was very impactful for me during this meditation was to feel the sanctuary initially from mother, and then from myself, and then to others. So we can, when we are attuned, when we are in this space, we can actually be another person's sanctuary and support others as well.
So we we have a few links Nancy's going to put in the chat thread for you if you want to get on our YouTube channel or any of our other social media, if you'd like to share this soul field with someone, and also if you'd like to donate, the link for donations is there too. And in the interest of sort of moving us into completion, we did a little couple minutes over. We're going to move into our closing prayer. But just as way of reminder, we do have these soul field meetings on the second and fourth Sunday, and we have a shorter via Zoom, a live meditation on the first and third Wednesdays at 5:10 p.m. Pacific. So we hope to see you in these brief meditations and in these deeper dives.
If you want to put it in your calendars, you go to soulfield.org/calendar, and it'll automatically put it on your calendar for you, so you don't miss it. Oh, we're not doing the closing prayer.
I am right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw your hand and no, with the candle. I'm like, oh wait.
Yes. We are deeply grateful to have experienced miraculous communion with our holy wholeness in the soul field. We wholeheartedly receive the upliftment of one another's communion and blessed soul light. As we close this formal gathering, we each in our own way will continue dwelling in the soul field and supporting our collective evolution. With deep gratitude, we thank one another, all our angels, guides, and guardians. Remembering as we minister to ourselves, we uplift one another. We encourage the magic we co-created to ripple out to all our relations for the benefit of all beings.
Mm. Estamos profundamente agradecidos por esta experiencia milagrosa de comunión con nuestro ser sagrado aquí en el campo del alma. De todo corazón recibimos la comunión de cada uno de nosotros y de la luz de nuestra alma divina. Al culminar formalmente esta congregación, cada uno de nosotros de manera personal permaneceremos aquí en el campo del alma, apoyando nuestra evolución colectiva. Con profunda humildad, agradecemos el uno al otro y a nuestros ancestros, ángeles, guías y guardianes de luz, recordando que cuando predicamos con nuestro ejemplo, nos elevamos el uno al otro y alentamos la magia que acabamos de co-crear para que se expanda a todos para el beneficio de la humanidad. And so
Mm.
have the Temple of Divine Perfection available to you at any time. If you want to leave some stuff there to be transformed or to be held, you're welcome to leave it there. Or if you need to pick it up, you can do that. So you can do so now. And so let's blow our candles together to culminate our soul feel and close the circle here together. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Thank you so much for being with us, holding you in so much love always and in our prayers.
Yes. Thank you.